And we are here and we are back. Unfortunate stuff there with the mute, but all good. I love it when a little bit of technical difficulties come through, but we've managed to make that one work. Norms now. Nice little takeover. Goes for the demo. Opens things up. Gets another one, or Arrow gets the return demo in response to at least get a little bit of defense back into play. And let's see how this one plays on out. Super Origami goes for the center. Noms wisely chooses to let it go. Lets it go across the entire side of the pitch. Sometimes those own goals can happen. Real opportunity there. No one able to jump off the center from the backboard. Faith continue to hold their lead here. 1 minute and 20 seconds to make this one work. And we can see here another one coming on through. Origami trying to control it. Noms obviously shadowing to the best of their ability. Trying to maintain control. Will be the one to win out in the end. And now full boost from the corner. Taking the distance. Gets one for the preset. That's a nice little sensor here, but no one's there to jump onto it. Faith once again getting away with a very lethal proposition sent through from Noms. You know what? 2 times not good enough. 3rd time's the charm. Fortunately, it won't be charming this time. Noms, nice little play there. Will jump through a limited boost. Keeps it back in the corner there. No chance for a center here for Faith. But Faith finds it anyway. The loose ball goes a little bit too far from the corner. You can see Noms tries to rush through. Doesn't want Super Origami to obviously get the center. But sets up in the end for another one. And Faith ends up getting to. And with 30 seconds on the clock here, looking like Ashdale might have to run it back into the next game to get themselves onto that round board. Nice little slow down from Origami there. Tries to hold it in place. Will let it go towards Noms, who slows it down, controls it, but with 15 seconds on the clock, you should have a bit more of a sense of the urgency to try and get something back. Noms does a good job to push it out. As you can see, of course, gets the touch, then the dodge afterwards. Gets it cleared. Shot on goal is not going to be enough. Faith shut the gate. Make sure there's no chance of the ball coming on through. And that will be the first game going the way of Faith. As we can see there, definitely a lot of work being put through by the entire side of Faith, making that one work. Very exciting stuff coming across there. Probably going to have to look a bit more to what Noms can do. Probably has to lean a little bit more on first aid, lean a little bit more on mass bird, really get them to jump into the action and set up some plays there. That way Noms can grab a little bit more boost, grab a little bit more off the side things, be able to unlock themselves a bit more, but definitely has been doing a pretty good job across the board, creating plenty of opportunities, while at the same time, Faith has just been able to deflect them time and time again. But we're going to be moving ourselves now into game number 2. See if they can set this one up. Noms there with an opportunity. We'll set it towards the center. Backboard bounce. Makes things awkward there. Again, Faith able to get away with it. We do have a substitution as well. What call has come into it. Come into the mix as well, Faith. Making sure everyone gets a little bit of time on the pitch. Noms now tries to go for the double, but isn't able to get that one. Next up the bat, let's see what we can do here. What call tries to go for a chip, but is going to miss out on it. We'll send it back. Arrow will go towards the air. Nice little play back. Keeps it in the corner here. Slowed down by Faith. Managed to beat Massboard, but not Noms, who doesn't get the best redirect. Won't follow off the backboard. Arrow now goes for a shot. That was definitely an opportunity, but it will go wide. Noms will be the one to take this one through. Will be loose balls. Back in the air. This is looking a bit rough, and it ends up being a score by AJ Star. These deeper balls that have a little bit of spin on them that slow down are always just so hard to read. Even players that have done it 1,000 times can muck it up. And sometimes it's the ones that are a bit quicker that's just easier to jump to it. There's actually less room for error. You can put yourself in the trajectory of the ball, get yourself behind it. The speed will allow you to sort of maintain your position with enough time to get there. But when it's that little bit slower, you start to run out of boost. You might go a bit too early. You might go a bit too quickly. But Watcall manages putting it away, get himself a second one here as well. Nice little play off the board here as well. Bit of a doomsday dish as well, really. Manages to get it around. And AOC just wasn't back in time to defend. And Faith really starting to put their stamp on this series. Bit of a slowdown there as well. I feel most of the time you have to really know when you want to slow down for the ball. You can't really just every single time wait for it. Otherwise, you do put yourself in a bit of a precarious position where you're letting the proactivity of your opponent get to it first. And so it's a bit of a balance, just figuring out, okay, do I go for it now? Do I slow down and then make the play, risk the opponent getting around me, getting in front of me, just using speed to their advantage there? And it is a delicate balance, that speed and control in this game. Nice little touch there from Watcall. Will be a shot on goal, but not the most amount of power. Really good use of that air roll to position it where they needed to go. I think that's a bit of a criticism that I have some of the plays here. Well, as I say that though, Arrow, no criticism from that one. Nice little play off the back end as well. First Aid tries to get around it. It's going to be a 50, and that 50 well and truly went the way of Arrow. 110 kilometers. I say speed is usually easy to defend, but once it's starting to get to that speed, I wouldn't mind a slow ball in those sort of situations. But ASC have to be resilient. Again, this is going to be a best of 5, but Watcall once again finds the angle from the backboard. Great little play here. Understanding when to go for it. Has really practiced that jump off. Sort of like that initial jump off the air roll down, and then dodge back in. Really good stuff. And now ASC, with less than half of this match left to go, in a much more precarious position. Arrow looking for that flip reset. Doesn't make the best of it. Max Birdie gets the center, but AJ will be there to grab the ball. Take it away. Now their opportunity for a little bit of air dribble. This is looking like a possible double, but Noms cuts the legs off midair. Still, decent attempt nonetheless. I like to see it coming through from these teams. Just sort of pushing that ceiling, that skill gap, ever so slightly with each competition. Noms gets around, gets on board, makes it 1-4. As you can see there, good control, goes for the little jump and the chip afterwards. Just centering it off afterwards. Those quick redirects is exactly what you need to grab an easy, cheeky goal. 1 minute 40 seconds. Noms makes it possible. Massbird puts it towards the center, sets up for Nonce. First Aid wrapping around to the other side, maybe. Nope, just choosing to actually remain in the goal. Noms now. Full boost. Will now go for that crossfield play. Doesn't get the second angle. As I say that, though, I think Watcall assisted a little bit, but AJ, able to read that, manages to keep it out of the goal. Noms now tries to bring it back. First Aid will push it towards the safety of the corner. Noms choosing to play defensive without any boost in play. Doesn't want to go for their usual crossfield grabs. We push that one out. Once again, Faith continuing to hold the attack. Slowing it down. Brings in a member, steals the boost at the same time. Bit of a twofold play there. Noms though, an opportunity, gets the chip up, looking to push it over. Gets it over the top, manages to make it 4-2. Trying to keep Game 2 alive for ASC. And again, understanding exactly what they needed to do. Gets around the ball, stops it, gets a little bit of air, and then immediately follows through. Faith now probably just need to be chill, I reckon, with not overcommitting for the attack. Not sending too many people forward, really keeping that that third man in a space that's, again, not in the goal, but probably just sitting around the box. That little box area there would be the sweet spot now. You got 20 seconds here. You don't need to let something go. Arrow's in position, manages to push it up there. A bit precarious, but will follow through and continue to push it out. And with 10 seconds on the clock, I think Faith starting to feel a bit more comfortable about their chances of taking game 2. ASC now probably feeling that the sense of urgency, that time has passed. It's well and truly out of there, and there's no chance now for them to make it. And Faith, they take game 2. Really good stuff there across the board. I mean, Noms having 800 points there, really doing as much as they can to sort of bring something back here for Ashdale. But Faith, as a whole unit, really doing some good stuff there, really controlling the game. Arrow, of course, true to their title, Meddling Kid, has been in the mix time and time again, blocking what's being put out there by Noms. Super Origami as well, playing it properly, getting the setups. AJ Star, of course, contributing just as much. A lot's been happening here in these games here, and you're kind of looking now as to what's going to be the camel that breaks the back here in game 3. And looking to get the setup up and rolling once again. Coming right back into the action. Yeah. Understanding everything that needs to be done there, so we'll be fixing things up. Again, nice little quick play there coming through from Noms. Nice stuff here. Tries to keep this series alive, so we'll get things fixed up. Faith, trying to get a quick return. Unable to make it work. First aid. Wants to make sure that they take this series. Is going to hold the defensive line for the time being. Faith slowing things down. I don't like that play, but Arrow is going to be quick off the pedal to the metal. That's a setup for AJ, who doesn't get the best angle, but still keeps the play alive. Faith, though, unwilling to make it work there, but of course, unable to get the clear. Nops be the final man to hold that one in position. Misses out on the boost. That slows down any chance of them continuing the counterattack. Ball up nice and high. Who will jump to it? Noms, beautiful stuff there. Gets just behind the ball at the last second. Gets it to redirect into the post. That was a do or die moment, and Noms definitely did. Now tries to follow through as well. Gets that mid boost. Has an open goal. Manages to put it away. 2-0 for ASE. And they do not want to end this series without at least giving something back to Faith. That being said, 4 minutes on the clock. Faith have been pretty dominant most of the time around. May be able to come back to the momentum that they've held so far this time. But game 3 definitely coming up the way of ASC. Let's see if they continue this first aid. Comes back around. Noms, though, will take it. Tries to get around the ball, perhaps for a quick second touch. That would have been on target, but unfortunately just miscalculated ever so slightly. Gets demo, but gets the clear for their trouble. Massbird and First Aid now, both running together. Looking to push it on through. Arrow, nice little chip over the top. Will shut down the attack. Going to be sent to Origami, who sets it on through to AJ. Massbird and Noms will be there. Noms now pushes off the edge there. Uses the corner to advantage. That's a nice flick off the top there. Had a lot of power, a lot of speed behind it. It was a dangerous proposition that was put forward by Noms, but it would be defended by Faith regardless. AJ now trying to set up here in the end. It's going to go towards the center. Arrow and Noms will meet midair, but Noms wins out. Maybe another opportunity here. You can see Noms pushes it to the corner, wants to get that boost first before making an attempt. Ball goes up high. And Faith just doing such a good job now of sort of holding the line. Using that communication, not overcommitting their members. They don't want to give any more away, otherwise that might shut the door on game 3 for him. But the door is closing. Nomps goes in for another attack. Mustard brings it back in again. Mustard tries to go for the play. It's going to be pushed through once again. It's going to be cleared out by a Faith member. Nomps now has the boost, has an opportunity, looks to get inwards. Is actually just going to miscalculate again. Was probably looking for a double, but overshot their initial second touch. So it wasn't going to work out for him. Nomps now bringing it back down again. They really do want to put another one in, but sometimes the best defense is a good offense, and that's exactly what ASC are doing. Just keeping the pressure ramped up in front of Faith and giving them no opportunity to go for a goal. Now another one by Nomps. Manages to reposition the ball at the last second. Really good use here as well. You can see there, goes for a quick fake, jumps over the top afterwards, gets behind the ball, uses the reset, repositions it in the corner. That's the type of play that ASC has been trying to do time and time again throughout this series and has been able to make it stick, but finally gets the landing this time. Arrow has an opportunity here, puts it towards the center. Not enough pepper, not enough power behind the ball to make it a bit of a lethal scenario. Nomps now tries to go for the double. AJ gets the read, but first aid's in position. Unfortunately, unable to get the angle. And the score remains 3-0. Arrow, though, finds it. Ball goes up a little bit too high. A little bit too awkward for Masper to get back in position. Nomps tries to get there, but AJ reads it. Gets the setup here. Faith now. 3-1. Tall order to get back, but crazier things have happened in Rocket League. Crazier comebacks have come through. Those kickoff goals, you can't count them out. Not going to be the case this time. Super Origami slowing things down. Tries to go towards the center. Nomps there to pick up the loose ball. Brings it towards the center again. Sets it on through. Arrow gets in position. Gets it over the top here. Nomps not in the best position. Arrow tries to follow through off the chip, but doesn't get the angle. Origami now tries to push it into the center there, but it will be redirected once again by an ASC member. Arrow pushes it in. It's going to go for a center. AJ's in position. Will get the defense. Tries to slow it down, but will be bumped for their trouble. Nomps goes overhead. Arrow doesn't get around the ball. Nomps with an opportunity here. Tries to slow it down. Chips it over the top there. Manages to beat 3 members and puts the nail in the coffin for game 3. We have ourselves a series. Look at that. Nice little play there. Good use of the air roll. Understanding how the car will reposition itself around it while holding it down. That would have taken quite a number of hours to get correct. Nomps making it look easy. The Faith now probably need to go back to the drawing board. Think about how they can try to close this out. Obviously in game 4, ASC need to keep up with this play. You can see what's happened there. Masper and First Aid really stepping up to the plate and doing a lot there. But of course, again, the lion's share of that score in Nomps, who's really been controlling this field quite a fair bit. And we'll get ourselves set up and ready to roll. As we jump back into it, the next game will be underway. I think both these teams ready to really push themselves forward into it a bit further. Really enjoying as well the player swaps coming on through from Faith, really giving all of their members an opportunity to jump in there, be on the stream, be a part of it. But we do have the next game ready to go. The players are on the pitch. They're ready to jump into it. The kickoff is coming on through. Pretty simple kickoff here. No real speed flips, both of them. Just opted in for a cheeky little boost in. Maybe a quick jump as well. Just to make sure the ball isn't going to redirect in a annoying fashion. Mass Bird looking to center. Is going to make it work. AJ now follows it through. Gets a good angle on the ball. You can see AJ chasing Nomps, looking for the bump. Wants to knock out that defender. Arrow sees an opportunity. Able to read on Nomps as well. As you can see, What Cole tries to get in the last second. open net. An unfortunate scenario here. ASC able to defend against the barrage of attacks, and I like it from Faith, but sometimes when you put all your eggs in one basket, they tend to break. And it is going to be ASC off to an early start here in Game 4. Something that they definitely need. It's always a better feeling when you're slightly ahead, even when you're behind in the overall series. First aid, just choosing to leave that one there. Nomps now has a flip reset, has another one. Pushes in for the center, but the members of the team aren't ready to jump onto it. It's going to go into the corner now. Arrow in control. Slows it down, no boost available, but still manages to beat two members. Nomps tries to slow it down, does a good job to quickly jump, gets a super jump off the back of it, and gets it on out of there. But runs out of boost towards the end. What call? Tries to follow through, wins the 50, but ever so slightly. Looking for the demo, finds it. Nomps is out of the running. Arrow gets around. They peel away the defenses. They open up the goal, and they push one through. Faith managing to equalize. Lovely stuff all the way around. And you can really see that Faith understand who they need to target. If they're going to go for a bump, if they're going to go for a demo, who's the essential target that needs to be temporarily neutralized for them to get this chance. Nomps, good stuff there. Tries to go for the fake out, but it will be red. Faith will bring it back towards the opposite side. First aid and Massbird slowly will bring the ball back. What call? Manages to jump around. It's a center play. Nomps there. Will battle out between Arrow. It's going to be a 50-50 that goes to the corner. Arrow now in control. Gets a flip reset, but lets it go. Beats first aid, but Nomps jumps in. Gets it clear. Goes over the top there. An opportunity here, but what call? Was shot off that one at the legs before there's a chance to get in there. Nomps pushes it through. What call? Manages to get around it, but it's going to be a soft touch here. Bit of a battle in the center. Lovely little back flick by Arrow, but will be bumped before they can follow one through. AJ doing a good job in the control, but it's not going to be enough. They get back. I mean, it's relatively looking like it's an open goal. AJ had to go for that sort of defense there. Instead of being a soft touch, and Nomps understands the assignment, gets back in, and makes it 2-1. Next up, we'll see what's going to be the big play coming into it. More stuff coming across. Nomps slows it down. What call? Says, if you want to slow it down, I will charge you. A real opportunity here. Gets it off the backboard. It's going to rebound dangerously, but ASC don't capitalize. What call? Gets a nice little center. Nomps doesn't get the best hit. AJ gets there. Nomps gets back in time. Excellent recovery to save. Nomps as well now manages to push us through. Chooses to go for the boost instead of following through directly. This is an opportunity here. Gets a flip reset. Fakes out that one. But Faith, the defensive line, will be able to read it. They drop to follow. Drop to match. Arrow now gets it over the top of Massbird. Nomps manages to get there. Another huge save by Nomps. AJ now, the next person beats first aid, but Nomps again will be able to push it out. Arrow looking for a setup here. Sends it to What Call. Looking for another chip. Bits another person there as well. Clear attempt by Nomps, but it'll be stopped by another member of Faith. You can see, puts it in towards it for another shot. Nomps manages to recover back in time. AJ taking it now to the corner. Wants to push it over. Wants to get over Massbird. Will make it work. That's a nice little pinch the two of them put together. But Nomps will hold on. I think Nomps now is more relegated towards keeping the defense. I mean, perhaps if a real opportunity pops up, they'll jump for it just like there. But this is a much more controlled, restricted Nomps that we've been seeing here in this last minute and 20 seconds. Understands that 2-1 is enough to take the game. And now we'll probably just try to hold it from this point. Doesn't want to risk anything off the back of it. That's a nice little play off the board. AJ will have a swing and a miss. And ASC continue to hold the lead with 30 seconds left. Faith They've only got a couple more plays left in them. Noms now will bring it up high. We'll get bumped mid-air. What call? Shoots towards the center. First aid. We're ready to receive and keep it out. And AOC now, they're all playing goalkeeper. They don't want to let anything through. That was a dangerous move by AJ. Almost slotted through. What call? This is the last one. Pushes it across. Both Arrow and AJ go for it. AJ tries to go back in, and AOC managed to make it 2 apiece. And things really beginning to heat up here. The tension, you can cut it with a knife. ASC looking for the reverse sweep. Faith obviously don't want to have that one happen. The teams, the players, they're revving, they're ready to go. We've already got the next game, the final game, the deciding match of this series. And what a way to kick off the day. With a 5-game right off the bat. Let's see what they can do. Faith gets the hit. Noms brings it up. Tries to control. Again, ASC with all the momentum here. They've really had a stranglehold on these last games. But Faith definitely showing us some signs of life. Noms gets an open goal here. AJ's trying to get back in time. Knows what they need to do. Doesn't calm, doesn't overshoot the situation. Realizes there's going to be limited boost. You can see AJ's desperately trying to beat Noms to it, but Noms had a sliver of boost left in the tank. Didn't need to go for the jumps that could potentially misposition them, and slots another goal in for their trouble. Nice little hit there from Noms. Arrow pushes it over the top. That's looking like a good shot. Arrow showing faith. Still have a little bit left in him. Oh, a lovely hit as well. That was the communicated setup there by Faith. Nice little pass there from AJ. Dropped it on through. Had the opportunity to push it towards the goal, but Arrow's like, I'm here, I'm ready, I'm waiting. No one's challenging you. They're not going to make it back. I've got a good shot. And what a shot it was. AJ tries to chip it over edge there. Noms gets the clear. Arrow now brings it back to the wall. Looking to control it. Doesn't get the best touch. So it will drop down. Noms now using their boost, using their opportunity. Going to hit the backboard. Drop down, but pushed out once again. Noms grabs himself another bit of boost. AJ, not the best take, but they're not going to be punished for it. Nice little flick overhead by Arrow. Noms there, ready to receive. ASC now just keeping Faith away. Just keeping them within their own half. Origami tries to break free of it. And we'll shoot that on through. Noms there. That's looking like a scary point, but ball's got a bit too much pepper on it. We'll go towards the wall. Origami will be ready and waiting to take it on through, but it will be AJ who pushes it out. First aid, leaving it for Noms. Origami manages to get there. Doesn't get the boost. Noms the one to walk away with that one. You can see now, looking for a setup, we'll push it down. Definitely an awkward bounce. Noms trying to get around it. That's a good hit. Noms knocks it away, 2-1. With 3 minutes left. This is the stuff you want to see. Origami gets it away, but Noms reads the positioning, understands where the ball's going to go before it even gets there. Gets around it, gets the angle, gets the goal. Noms, another quick shot there, another cheeky attempt. Isn't going to follow through. AJ brings it over the top, wants to push it out. Ball's going to hit the backboard. Noms will be the one to get the clear once again. AJ manages to essentially win there, but Noms, limited boost, gets the ball around, looks for a setup there, understands where the ball needs to go into it, a center opportunity. Faith, though, will hold the line. 2-1 left. Arrow gets the flip reset, but it's actually a bit of a setup here. Noms jumps on the opportunity, goes for the shot. Some wall dashes there as well to get back in time. Those quick recoveries, they mean the world. Massbird jumps in there, tries to get around the board. Nice setup here from Noms, but runs out of boost to go for the follow-through dunk. Arrow now controls it, will take the boost. Noms will read, pushes back around. AJ back to the center. Origami with a touch. It's going to be awkward. It's going to be enough, and AJ there to hammer it home. Gotta love that. And again, that slight little tip there. Massbird and Noms colliding in the air. Both committing to the defense. Ends up spelling ruin. But both teams not out of it yet. That was just an equalizer. Arrow, though, finding one more. And a very dangerous time. It was a bit of a clash. I don't want to call it a 50 because Nom's got the little touch there, but that's a pretty close 50. That's a very close 50. And the redirection, the ball, where it went, was all faith. And right now, sometimes just whacking the ball, giving it a nice big smack, and then letting destiny guide it. Sometimes you just got to have faith, and that's definitely the way that seemed to work out for our faith side. Noms now trying to change destiny. Goes in for the center. Arrow will get it out as Massbird tries to jump onto it. Gets the demo. AJ pushes it across afterwards. Massbird gets back in time to redirect afterwards. That was looking like that might have been the nail in the coffin here in the series. Arrow pushes across. And Ashdale fighting valiantly to the bitter end. They were down 2 games in this series and managed to bring it back. Now we're here in the deciding match. And it's 1 goal separating ASC and Faith right now. 1 goal. That could mean the difference of who takes this series. Noms, nice stuff that will bring it over. You can see the sense of the urgency now in Ashdale. They're trying to understand how they can break the defense of Faith, who have definitely restricted their movements. They're really being good about keeping that third man back. 15 seconds left on the clock. AJ goes for a pass back to Arrow. Arrow chips it over the edge. It's an open goal, and that's all she wrote. 2 goals in 10 seconds. ASC's going to need a miracle. And that was a brilliant way to get it back as well. No greed there coming across from AJ. Understanding to bring it back. Basically reading the opponent, thinking they're going to go straight for the goal, but they decide to backtrack. And sometimes when you double back, you can catch the opponent off guard. And Faith take the series 3-2. And again, beautiful stuff there. You can see Noms doing a lot there, but of course Arrow as well, doing a fantastic stuff there as well. Though, with that being said, we did have a little bit of a concern before, right? Where, you know, maybe you guys didn't hear me, right? And that's understandable. Sometimes, you know, those technical difficulties happen, and that's just how it goes. But that being said, we do need to sort of, you know, show some love to the sponsors, because of course my voice wasn't heard, it wasn't put out there. So let me just say this one more time again. Of course, it is going to be AGON by AOC, the #1 gaming monitor brand in the world. AGON by AOC provide the best-in-class monitor solutions for gaming and all other needs. Power your game with the latest HyperX gear at Officeworks. When you need speed, control, and 0 distractions, Officeworks has got the tech. Discover gaming gear made to handle serious play. And Indomie, the noodle partner made with high-quality flour and selected ingredients and spices. A plate of Indomie meringue will certainly brighten up your day. Try any one of the flavors available today at your local grocer or at indomie.com.au. And with that being said, guys, we will be going back to a quick break. So please do not go anywhere while we do get the next game set up. Welcome back, everybody, to the Australian Esports League High School Competition for Rocket League. We're going to be jumping now into the next game, and that's going to be Phoenix Gold up against the PCC Pinchers. We're very excited to see what they do bring to the table. If you are just joining us as well, Ashdale did unfortunately fall to Faith, who put up an amazing game there, but of course Ashdale were fighting tooth and nail as well. But that being said, everything continues, and I really do love when we do jump into this mid-round sort of division in the tournament. It is really good. The teams really do start to step up to the plate and start to make things happen. But I do believe the teams should be ready for us to jump into it shortly, so we should be jumping into that next game. And I'm really excited to see what is going to be brought up here as well. I think they're jumping into it. I'm excited to see that. I always love watching Phoenix and the Pinchers play. They always do some good stuff here. We've got some really strong players on both sides of the team. And we are jumping on into it. Musty, Nossa, ASD, Tauntness, Camo, and ERC. Ready to jump straight into the mix. Camo goes for the center there. No one available to jump in it just yet. I do like it when Mustard Fishy brings as much Sonic as physically possible into the mix. Sometimes you just gotta go fast. But of course, we're in game one. Let's see what they do now. Nossa brings it up. ASD. Pushing through from the side. Tauntness gets the clear. ERC bringing it towards the center. Nossa will find it on through. And now both teams just looking for a real opportunity here to break out of it. They seem to be stuck in this back and forth in the corner. Maybe here's an opportunity. Camo looking for a center, but wasn't able to find it. ERC, though, will be the one to make it happen. The pinch comes down to the floor. Things get a little bit rough there. Tauntness now. Lovely little center in. Camo ready to receive, and Phoenix get themselves the first goal. This is just beautiful stuff from Tauntness. Lovely, lovely stuff. Jumps in, gets the dodge afterwards, makes it difficult for the read. And Camo understanding their assignment afterwards. ASD, though, gets what looks like an open goal here. These kickoffs, they're deadly. And ASD, as you can see, just knew, yep, if I hit the ball at this angle, at this speed, the trajectory should be a goal, and things very quickly even right back up. Nossa. Hold on line, Camo. Pushes it over. See how this one plays out now. Nossa tries to get through. ERC has an opportunity, pushes over. Nossa holding that third man position well, but has no boost, so we'll let the ball go up. Mustard Fishy now trying to get around it. Will hold the goal for the time being. ASD pushes it in. All members jumps across, and Mustard manages to push it through. There was a wall of cars in the way, but you can see here. Drops down. Tauntness trying to get back in time. But I'm definitely calling that a Mustard Fishy goal. That isn't a Trader goal. It'll be a Trader and it'll be a Trader technically, but you can't blame Tauntness for that one. ERC knocks it overhead. Back towards the center. Camo slows it down. Sets up for Tauntness, who pushes on through. Camo tries to get back around, but possession will go to PCC. The Pinchers. We're going to push their lead. Fishy pushes it across here. ERC lets the ball go through. Chooses to take it across the board there. The drop down is slightly dangerous, but Pinchers don't get anything for their trouble. Camo now gets that boost. This is looking dangerous. Goes for the double down. ERC tries to get a dunk, but it's not going to be enough. But Camo manages to cut through the chaos afterwards. And you can see all the members jumping up. Doing it in unison. All three, though, at that last second, commit to the defense and unfortunately unable to get the touch. And that sets it up for Phoenix to get their own equalizer. And boy, oh boy, do you have a series. Both teams, all teams, all players trying to push themselves to that next level. Totnes tries to go for a center, but it's not going to be the best touch. ASD now knocks it overhead. Camo will guide it to safety. No boost, but we'll get through nonetheless. Totnes now tries to bring it to the center. Gets the hit on the side. ERC brings it over. That's not going to be enough. Camo, though, will find it in the end. And that was actually a three-player contribution there. All members, ERC, Camo, Thoughtness, coming together there, using quick passes, quick plays off the backboard to go for a setup here, re-establish their lead in game one. Next step coming on through. ASD slows it down. Push it overhead. Tautness will intercept. Brings it down. Opportunity for ERC, but Mustard pushes to the corner. Nusa holds that front post and keeps the ball out. Now an opportunity for the Pinchers to try and get something back. Nusa wins the 50. ASD tries to get it through the line, but it's not going to be enough. Tautness keeps it well and truly clear of the goal. Camo has boost. It's going to go to the corner. Nusa or Nosa will slow it down. Nusa tries to get it overhead, but it will be pushed back towards the corner. Bit of an ebb and flow here as well. Nosa beats Camo, but not Tautness. ERC covers back position. Chooses to let the ball go down. Tries to catch the return pass, but won't make it work. But I like the idea. Tautness now has some boost, has some control. Tries to get the ball up and over. Tries to flick it so it's not such a dangerous position. But Pinch is unable to make it work anyway. Tautness now slows it down. ASD does beat out, but ERC gets back in time, even after the demo from Camo. Balls up high. Tautness now. Yeah, you can see Phoenix understand it's about getting the clears now. We're not trying to put ourselves in an overcommitted position and let the Pinchers get a counter-attack. But the ball will die as it hits the ground here after the time has lapsed. And Phoenix take away game one. And talk about a real even line of contribution from both sides of the team. You're looking at the points there. Of course, Camo with the goals is on top, but you take that away and everyone is pretty similar. So it doesn't really matter who puts it away at this point as long as you're coming out on top. And that's the big thing we need to look at. But I believe the teams are ready to roll, ready to jump back on into it as well. So we'll get the next game set up. And it's going to be good. Again, Phoenix on top for the time being. The Pinchers trailing by a game. We'll see what they can do. It will be the Pinchers who win the kickoff, but Camo quickly picks it up and looks for a quick counter-attack. Nosa slows it down, controls it. That's a lovely little pitch that does go across field. It's going to be off target, but still creates a bit of a setup here. Barrage of attacks coming across from the Pinchers and unable to reconvert this quick little redirect play, but I like it nonetheless. Camo beats one with the over-top chip. That is a lovely play afterwards. Immediately getting that extra touch there. And you can see here, goes to the ball, uses the rebound, makes the ball go in a completely different direction to what was being anticipated in Phoenix. Get themselves an early lead here in game two. Camo has the boost. Pushing it towards the center there. That's a dangerous shot. No one able to follow up afterwards. Nosa tries to get it clear, but it's going to go back in. Totnes once again brings it to the center. No one's in position. ERC with no boost. Camo slows it down. Bring it across here. It's a center play, but comfortably cleared away. But Fishy almost finding a hole in the armor. ERC unable to push it across. Totnes quickly has to reposition themselves. PCC not taking advantage of the confusion. Totnes with a backward shot. We'll bring it back towards the center. Tries to get overhead. ASD, though, reads that nicely. We'll get the clear. Just continuing to push forward here. ESC looking for a setup, but that will be shut down once again. Camo continuing the attack. Looking for the flip reset, but it's not going to be enough. And now Phoenix keeping PCC in their half, making it so difficult to crack that midfield. ERC comes in, tries to push it across, but will be met mid-air in a clash. Let's see what they can bring to a nice little stop there by Mustard. Just to get the ball a little bit over and stop another goal from conceding. Up in the side, Camo brings it to the center. Again, PCC trying to hold their defense, but this is looking rough. It's been, honestly, what feels like 2.5 minutes of back-to-back attacks, and Camo comes on through from the pass of ERC to put that one further away. And eventually, when you do have it, attack after attack, just assault after assault, it eventually starts to wear away at the defense, and the kickoff goal pushes that lead a little bit further forward for Phoenix. And Tautness understanding exactly where they need to be, who needs boost, who needs anything. All you need is positioning and a rogue ball. And Phoenix now 3-0, really looking to take full control of the series. Oh, Camo. Again, another beautiful touch. It's going to be ever so slightly wide. ERC looks to set up for Tautness, and Tautness will be the final one of the play to make it work. And again, Camo just makes it difficult for the pinches to come back, reposition, be in a good spot. ERC doubling down on the confusion, sets up Tautness to put it away. And Phoenix now, they just seem to be a different team from game one. It felt like a bit of a rough slog in game one to sort of get through the pinches, to finally break them down. But this time around, PCC are really feeling the pressure. They still have 2 minutes to make something happen, to get back some form, perhaps maybe get another 4 goals towards their advantage. But ERC, was that a flip reset? I think it was. Chip over the top, in the air. Yep, that's the flip reset. And then a nice little play afterwards. Gets the ball just ever so slightly overhead. And the pinches now trail by 5. Lovely little hit there. On target. Tautness makes it 6. At this point, I think PCC just need to go back to the drawing board. At this point, you could say game 2 is a bit of a foregone conclusion. 6 goals in 2 minutes. Phoenix can comfortably park the bus, but they probably don't even need to do that. They've just been holding and controlling, and I think it just comes down to the pinches to really communicate, understand, all right, who's committing, who's going to play their structure, who's sitting where, when do we move out, when that we have that happen. Because right now, Phoenix just seem to be the more complete team. They really are communicating who's going to be in position. ASD now trying to get something back for the pinches, but will be met mid-air. Camo, again, creating opportunities. Tautness seizing that opportunity. You can just see Tautness even set it up for Camo. Just understanding all the members from PCC were up. Once again, just that structure not really favoring them. And in the end, I'd say Phoenix are going to have full control of game 2. Be nice for them to get one goal in. I feel like if you're Phoenix, you just let it go this time. Get the Brazil. Come on. Let them have a Brazil. Just make it a Brazil. Stop putting your pedals to the metal. You've got a minute left here. Nah, we miss out on the Brazil. It's going to be 8-0. Dashing the hopes and dreams of this caster to see as many Brazils as possible when casting Rocket League. But c'est la vie, such is life. And I'd say right now, again, like, with the pinches, just play it through, shake it out, right? Just let this game happen. Start thinking about the next one. You've got a best of 5 series to work with. Really look at what Phoenix are doing correctly. How do we shut down these plays? Again, it just seems to be that their structure is on point. The recovery from them is in place. They got good confidence as well where they hold the line. If you're not that confident, I would suggest sort of holding your halfway between your goal and the box, right? Like that's the sort of recommendation I would say. Hey, if there's going to be a deep ball that's going to go overhead, that might be on target, and you're not confident that you're going to have the mechanics to quickly double back, get yourself into the air, get yourself in a position to knock that ball off its trajectory. Just hold between the goals, hold between the midfield, keep that place in play. But Phoenix, time and time again, I've been looking the way that they've been doing their structure. They just have such confidence holding that midfield, being on that line there, not needing that third man to be ever so further back, and that has been really pushing their lead ever so slightly in the scenario. But that being said, I'm just gonna wait to see for this next one here as well. Not an ideal situation there while we do get this one set up. We will be able to do that. Just a bit of a slight delay, nothing too crazy. But I think we're good now. I think we're ready to it. We'll be jumping back into it shortly. The teams were revving and ready to move into it, but, sometimes they take a bit of time, want to reset up. To be honest, if you are the pinchers, you probably should be taking as much time as humanly possible. You should be looking to really slow it down, understand what needs to be done. This is definitely the first I've seen. It's they're just letting it go through. They're just not moving. A bit of a... Is this an AFK kickoff? I don't know what they're doing. Look, Phoenix is just holding the line now for the time being. PCC doing the same. Alright, so we've we'll see what needs to be there as well. We'll make that one work. Alrighty, I think we will just be going back to a quick break, so I will be right back and we'll get this one reset up for you. Hello everyone, welcome back, and sorry for the delay again. A couple of technical issues while we get things sorted out, but we do have the game ready to go and the series to continue here between Phoenix and of course PCC. And we're jumping straight back into it. We're in game 3 here. The Phoenix are up 2-0 or 2-0 in the series. Dauntless with a quick take there, immediately brings it over. That's an air dribble and a half if I've ever seen it. Nice little control here. You can see gets the touch they needed to. Really good control, seeing where they need to be. And that's just a hard way to get the ball. Going right to the top of the goal. You need to be perfect on the defense, but damn, Dauntless was perfect on the air dribble. And that's the sort of stuff that you love to see early on in these games. Good control over the top. ASD now pushes it over, gets it across. Camo will recover in time, but with limited boost, can't make it work. ERC, though, will be the one pushing that across. Camo will follow through. ASD gets a center play. This might be a good opportunity. Tornes gets a touch onto it, pushes it ever so slightly out of the way. And we'll be continuing here now. Camo gets a nice little hit onto the sidewall. See if we can make this work. Camo tries to get around, but ASD shadowing in the perfect position. Gets around Camo, and it's just not enough. You can see Camo thought that they didn't need to boost that little bit early, and that's what ended up spelling their downfall. But we are now one apiece here, and the pinchers have definitely regrouped, reconsolidated, refortified. I don't want to give away the series without a fight. Phoenix have a dangerous shot. Camo doesn't go for it, leaves it for ERC, who drops it down. Dauntless comes in afterwards, but there's a wall of PCC cars keeping the gates to their goal closed. Camo gets a flip reset. Goes for the musty, sets up. Dauntless tries to finish, but not enough. Phoenix pulling out all the stops here. Now a setup here for Camo. Tries to get through. Mustard manages to win out the 50. Ball's up in the air. Pinch is now looking for the counter attack, but has slowed down. Camo will push it towards the center board here. Camo resets up once again as ASD tries to get it in the safety of the corner. Ball's gone up high. Yes, he recovers back, doing a fantastic job playing that third man position. ASD pushes it towards the center. No, pushes it away from the center, sorry. Tries to get it over again. Will very handily push it away from the goal. This is looking like a real opportunity. Jumps overhead. Nice little push onto the ball for a decent shot. Camo, once again, great control. Sets up here. Dauntless seizes the day. Makes it 2-1. And again, it's just excellent control here. Like, Camo jumping through and then dodging while also mid in the air roll just makes it look so easy. And that opens up Dauntless to come in and take that pass. Put another one away for Phoenix. And I was saying, you know, PCC really have resiled up, really got a good setup here as well. ASD with an opportunity, but not able to convert. You can see they've definitely tightened up their play. They're looking so much stronger, so much cleaner from before. Better structure. But Phoenix are just turning up a little bit more on the nozzle in random situations, and it's starting to make the difference. Yossi tries to knock it back into the center. Camo rushing to ACD will knock him away for their trouble, but the ball gets clear regardless. Nossa pushing up. Tries to push it over. Fishy has a chance to get on the ball, but Camo will lock it away, lock it out of there. Set up for ASD off the backboard. Equalize once again. The pinches say you want to take it up an extra notch. We can do it as well, and that's a beautiful double for ASD. Normally, you want the ball to be a little bit closer to the goal to make it work, but ASD understood the angle, understood where they needed to be. And that gets them the equalization. ERC pushing across. The mustard fishy gets it over the top. Tornets knocks it out. Looking a bit dangerous for Phoenix now as well. ASD's rushing in. Used all the boost of the tank to get there, but unable to capitalize on that brief relax in the action. Nosar pushes it in. This is an opportunity. Maybe Camo shuts it down. Says, no, no, no. Back towards the center you go. And you can immediately see as well just how the change in structure, the extra confidence in the pinches are making a difference. Tauntness almost fakes out, but unable to finish it off. But again, I'm just addressing as well. All of a sudden, Phoenix just can't hold that midfield the same way they were in Game 2. They're not just keeping the pinches locked out. They're having to backtrack themselves. They have to get into recovery positions. And again, that's because the pinches have stepped up to the plate. They lost their form temporarily. Temporarily. But they definitely have it back. But the Phoenixes doesn't mean just because one side has their form back that the other one loses it. The Phoenixes still looking strong themselves. Pushing it across. Ball goes in for a center. Going to be knocked away again. ACD gets it overhead. Camo's in position. Manages to keep the ball alive. That it's our first overtime of today. And what a series to bring it to us. Camo. Big shot. Mustard. Blocks it. Camo with limited boost. Keeps the play alive. Wants to knock it in. Tornus makes it dangerous. ERC gets the ASD. Defends. And now Phoenix, looking like the hunters that they were in Game 2, are trying to get an attack. Tortness doesn't get the best hit. ASD will be able to take it. And now the counter-attack's on. Yeah, this is a dangerous spot. ASD might make it work. Tries to go for a flip reset, but will be cut short before they can start their attack. ERC will meet. No sir in the air. Keep the ball down. That's it. That's overhead. They've managed to find it in Camo. Knocks it away. Good stuff overall. You can see Camo uses the last of their boost to get there. Knows what the angle needs to be. And the Phoenixes take this one 3-0. And that's some good stuff they're coming across. That's some amazing things there. And that being said, even though it was a 3-0 scoreline, the benches were right there. For the two games, they're pretty much neck to neck with Phoenix. You can see there were little things that might have been able to tip the scale for them in this sort of scenario. But unfortunately, that's not going to be the case for PCC for the benches. But Phoenix showing us just how strong they are in this competition. And I'm telling you, everyone is giving us a little bit more as it progresses. But with that being said, we still have more Rocket League to come your way, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone, to the Australian Esports League High School Competition for Rocket League. We now have our last but not least round of the day, and that's going to be GLC up against SPLC. So I'm really excited for us to get into this one as well. I believe the teams are ready to roll, so we should be jumping into the action shortly. But things have been really heating up in the competition today. Everyone's been showing up well and truly from time to time. And I'm really excited to see what the last game of the day has on offer. So looking at everything here, I mean, we've seen them play last week as well and throughout the competition in the past. Large Chips, Teriyaki, and Max for GLC. Fishy, Smebs, and Ming Hao for SPLC. And things will be kicking off with a bang. They're going to let the ball go straight into the corner here. GLC obviously quite happy to start things off. Let's see how they look to do it in a bit of chaos here in the center. Here, both players or both teams don't have specific control over the ball just yet, but and we'll continue to push it across. Smebs slows it down. Of course, using that Homer Simpson car as well. Well, let's see what they can do to make it work. Of course, that event has been fun across the board. Max, of course, with the Trident-tested True Fennec. That ball's going to go over. You can see here now the attack is on for SPLC. They're really trying to get something back here as well. Finally, a clear comes across from GLC. It's going to go overhead. Fishy, though, big shot off that backboard redirect. Perhaps too much of a push there on the side here from Max, who was just trying to get the clear, but not the perfect angle. Sets it up for Fishy, and that one's locked away at 112. That's a hard one to defend any day of the week. And SPLC off to a roaring start. Nice shot overhead here, Max. Let the ball go through. Needs to pick up some boost there before they can try anything fancy. Smebs, though, with a beautiful shot. It's going to go overhead once again, and Smebs finds a nice little hit there that no one was expecting. You can see there, Fishy knocks it across. Nice little boost with the jump, and that just pushes the ball right where it needs to go. Nice, quick run here for SPLC, who want to put their stamp on the series early. Fishy pushes it overhead. The redirect comes through. They manage to set up once again. Smeb does well to get back around it, but wasn't expecting there to be a second touch. It does mean that SPLC don't put it away. But another opportunity. Smebs puts it overhead. Ming Hao jumps up high. Tries to go for a bit of a push down dunk, not able to get it. And SPLC controlling the pace, controlling the speed, keeping things under wraps here from GLC. It's a little bit Game 2-esque from the Phoenixes when they were versus the Pinchers. They just seem to be in place, but talk about breaking the curse that the caster set through. Max there, quick play. Nice little touch, pushes it down. Fishy just not in position, thought the ball was going to go into the goal, but actually opts towards a pass, and that pass does mean GLC get themselves on the board. And now the question is, will SPLC let this muck with their momentum, muck with their form, or will GLC get a bit more confidence to really push it overhead? The demo's coming across. Fishy gets one on Max. Smeb tries to get one on through, but not going to get the best touch as it goes up high. Opportunity for Max. Fishy gets in the air, stops it from happening here. Nice little pass there to Ming Hao, who was trying to be cheeky, trying to get around the ball, perhaps looking for a last-minute dribble around the side, but gets red, gets beat. Max bringing it down. Smebs looking to take a loose ball. Max doesn't want to go anywhere near their goal for the time being. This is looking like a bit of a setup here. Teriyaki tries to get there, gets bumped for their trouble. Ming Hao looking to set it up there. Smebs will push it towards the backboard, but GLC recover. As I say that, all of them coming for the defense, and Smebs is able to find a gap through it all. You can see it coming through here. Fishy knocks into the center, gets a demo afterwards. That's an actual big moment there that you need to take into account. That demo did knock through a possible obstacle there for the finish off from Smebs, and SPLC now aren't fumbling the bag at this moment in time. As I say that, Ming Hao now as well. Look at this from Fishy. Beautiful flip reset to set up off the backboard rebound, and Ming Hao is just able to come in and finish it off and push this lead ever so farther ahead. And with 2 minutes left, things starting to look dire for GLC. They really do need to rise to the occasion, meet the form that SPLC have sort of set. The benchmark is definitely a tough one to meet, but I've seen GLC, the likes of Teriyaki, Large Chips, and Max do some pretty incredible stuff. Fishy showing us their wall dashes while they're at it as well. Now we can see Max goes for a shot. 2 players commit. Ball goes up high. Large Chips setting up in position. Makes it a tough angle to hit. And damn, do they finish it. Ball's up in the air. Look at this lovely little play here. Understanding where they need to get that last little hit. Making it difficult for SPLC to sort of guess where the ball's going to end up. They slot it right in that top corner. Right in that corner third there. Fishy, though, makes it look easy. You want to do something fancy? Well, let me show you something simple. And it is a bit of an unfortunate pinch off the kickoff. Makes things hard for GLC, but making it easy for SPLC. Again, a bit of a dangerous pinch here as well, but Teriyaki gets there in time. Max will knock it down overhead. An opportunity for GLC as they try to knock it on through. Ming Hao tries to get around it, but Fishy will be the one to get it clear. Large Chip's not the best touch here. Ming Hao, though, won't jump on it. Smebs will, though. Ball's going towards the center. Teriyaki's in position. It's going to be a nice clear overhead. Will be on target for goal, but won't be making its way towards it. Ming Hao setting up. Looking to get across. Max drops down. Ming Hao looks for a center. Fishy unable to make it work. Large Chips. Nice little chip on the edge there, but Smebs understands the assignment. Rises to the occasion and blocks it. Max trying to go around will slow things down. You need to have a bit of a sense of urgency. Fishy, beautiful read, brings it back to the corner for a center. And things just getting harder and harder here now for GLC. You can see SPLC are starting to ramp down into a very solid defensive structure. They understand, you know what, we've done enough work. We don't need to push any more through. But as they say that, Ming Hao has another one left in reserve. You can see Fishy gets the demo, stops the ball from being out of there, and Ming Hao will put one away at the very end here. And SPLC off to a flying start. Really showing us what they can do. Having a quick look at that scoreboard. Fishy, 2 goals there, but plenty of assists, plenty of shots. Really showing us that they got the speed here. That really has been the name of their game. And we'll see now when we do get their setup coming on through. But looks like we're jumping straight into game 2. Of course, we have what seems to be a very, very strong side here from SPLC. Going forth from there. From that kickoff, looking across there, SPLC will continue to control the game, continue to make things difficult here for GLC. And you can already see sort of what they're bringing to the table again, right? They're just continuing their attacks, continuing to hold the ball in the half of GLC, stealing boost, stealing resources, making life difficult. A Large Chips tries to bring it back, but Fishy will be in position. Tries to knock it down. Will be cleared out nicely off the top of the backboard. Oh, I love that little play there from Fishy. I'm going to try that one next time I'm playing. The the jump into the air roll, so that way you quickly recover back. I'm learning things there, people, while I'm watching them play. I'll let you know that much. The little tricks of the trade, the little bits that you miss when you're playing yourself. How did he recover so quickly? Well, Fishy, good little shot on target. Comes back to finish it. You can see there as well, that is a hard angle to get back to as well. And they try to reach it. They try to recover. Fishy, knowing exactly where the ball's going to go, if it does hit that corner, gets back in position for the follow-up. Gets himself a nice little early lead here against GLC. I say early, but it's already been a minute and a half, so starting to get well and truly into it. Nice control from Fish. He's going to let it drop out of boost. GLC not taking control of it just yet. Fishy comes back around, obviously refills the tank. Smebs tries to beat Max, but Max will read the redirection of the balls that comes back around. Maybe an opportunity for GLC. Smacks near the backboard there, so close to the post, and will go clear. Ming Hao, lovely little shot. Is ever going to be wide there, but again, these shots, even if they're just a little bit wide, it causes panic, causes a little bit of disruption in the thought process of the team, and they overcommit to the defense. They get themselves out of position for the follow-up. Nice little push through from GLC. He's going to slow things down. Fishy now beats one player. Doesn't beat Teriyaki. Max tries to get in. Ming Hao, what a save. Is in position. Sometimes you just got to make sure that you're where the ball's going to be. Smebs with an opportunity. Gets it overhead. And Smebs gets another one. And you can see Max has the right idea. But that redirection by a member from SPLC, I think it was Ming Hao, gets it in position for Smebs to put another one away. And with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left, SPLC looking very strong to take this. GLC not out of it yet, though. They can still get it through. You have time. Oh, Ming Hao. Nice little touch there. GLC brings 2 members to defend. Ball's going to go up high. Max gets it out of it. Open goal here, possibility. Ming Hao's trying to get back. Gets the boost. Will get there in time. You can see GLC looking for opportunities, looking for something. Every little mistake does seem to get covered by SPLC. GLC looking to capitalize on when it happens. A large chip's trying to jump there as well. Fishy and Max will collide in the air. Smebs opportunity. Nice little air roll touch overhead. Tries to get back around off the bounce and will be red for the defense of GLC, who bring it back for a counterattack. Max gets it overhead there. Ming Hao stops it from going in. Smebs holding on. Tries to get back. Teriyaki pushes it towards the side of SPLC, who keep it in the corner. GLC, first real chance at an attack that feels like where they've actually set up there and not just backing off a rogue ball that's gone loose. Smebs gets the win there. That's looking like a setup there. Ming Hao slows it down, tries to get overhead. Teriyaki gets back in time. Fishy's up high, slows the ball down for a resender to Ming Hao. Once again, it's going to be saved. My God, oh God. GLC surviving ever so much here as well. That's a nice attempt from Max. Almost on target. Was a setup for a large chips, but SPLC's defense gets back in time. Smebs now with a big hit. Max is already in the air. Third man positioning on point. But it doesn't matter how good your last minute and a half is if you've conceded 2 goals prior. As I say that, Teriyaki finds one. Yeah, it's an interesting bounce. Smeb just has no boost. Ming Hao making things a bit awkward. Tries to follow through with the ball as well. And that ends up giving a nice little setup here for Teriyaki to make it 1-2. And maybe with a kickoff goal, we can get an overtime. GLC still hanging on, still fighting, but 10 seconds left. SPLC are one step closer to taking this series. Teriyaki's going to get beaten out. And I think that is going to be it from there. Max, let's go through. You can see they let it drop to the ground. Fishy lets it go over. Doesn't want to risk it on the play. And things, once again, looking further up here now for SPLC. Really in good control. Really their whole way on through. But we do have ourselves setting everything up, getting everyone in position. Get ourselves straight back into game 2. Already the teams, they want no delay. You guys don't want any delay. As much as you know you want to see my face, it's not that pretty, let's be honest. It's not that good. So you know what? We'll set it straight back to the game for you, alright? You have to deal with my voice though. That's the only thing I can't take away from the scene. Sorry, not sorry, but that kickoff already very quick off the shot there. Even actually a shot on goal that Fishy needs to save. A large chip's the one to force the letter there. Bit of a wave dash from Max. Love seeing it. Has no boost, but of course wants some speed, so we'll go ahead and do that. Smebs. Nice little touch there. Looks to go for a redirect off the ball. Ming Hao gets a demo onto a large chips, but they're not going to take advantage of it just yet. Teriyaki looking to jump in. That's a nice little setup. Fishy, how did you get back and how did you read it? That was a save if there has ever been one, but the attacks from GLC continue. Teriyaki up in the air. It's going to be a bit of a 50 in the corner. Ball's going overhead. SPLC now looking to launch the attack. Nice little touch. We'll get it overhead and bring things back for GLC. Sometimes it's not the obvious parts that gets you. It's always the ones that you least expect. We'll see how this goes through. Teriyaki now controls the ball. Tries to go for an air dribble. Misses out in that last second. Unable to get that second touch. Fishy now. Big shot overhead. Max there to receive. See how this one works out. Looking at the boosts now. Teriyaki low. Ming Hao's got nothing. That's looking dangerous. Fishy. Nice little finish there as well. The wall dash just to make life a little bit easier. Look at that. Understanding the double and the positioning. You think that'll be an easy one to defend, but it's not. Most of the time, you're setting up to immediately jump off the redirect, or jump off immediately and push the ball out for a clear, and you're not expecting that initial hit. And Ming Hao, I wasn't expecting that one at all. Sneaks another one in there. Smebs, perfect little center on the side. Teriyaki just can't get the angle. And Ming Hao, there for the finish. And now it's starting to feel like GLC might have lost a little bit of their luster. As I say that, Max brings it right back. Lovely look at this one. Oh, what a touch. SPLC riding high off that initial goal. Letting their structure fall for 2 seconds. And Max seizes that opportunity with a beautiful touch. Puts it straight into the goal. Fishy, I feel, has a bit of a renewed feeling there. Being very aggressive with their boost. Very fast and quick. Large chips now. Trying to take advantage of perhaps another misstructure. Teriyaki goes for a shot. And again, SPLC have just let their structure fall. They're pushing too far aggressively. They don't have members back to the defense. Being how they try to get the ball to be a little bit further to the corner, but you would expect there to be some member from SPLC back in time for the initial attack afterwards, and GLC have to, and we're back to an equal game. And what a way to start a reverse sweep, if that's the way to go into it, right? Just seizing a little bit of lapse in judgment from your opponent, and then riding that momentum to sweep the series. Almost had that in our first series of the day, our first round of the day, with a turnaround from Ashdale. But Faith were able to re-rally, re-fortify. SPLC, though, doesn't seem to be the case this time around just yet. I mean, we're at 2 apiece. 2 minutes left on the clock. Anyone's game, and my oh my, that was so close to being SPLC's third goal. GLC survive another day. Fishy lets it go through. Quickly opts to go for a bounce off the backboard. Bit of a half-hearted attack there. I feel Fishy would have liked to have a bit more boost instead. Really good use of the wall dash there to get back, scale on through, get an advantage, and that sets up the goal. Ming Hao, a nice lob. And you can see here, just a nice little hit off the top there. Max isn't back in time. Teriyaki not reading it. And you can see Smebs is there as well. Even if the ball's redirected, I feel or have a sneaking suspicion that Snebs would have been able to get the job done. But wasn't needed in the end. SPLC now, feeling a bit more confident. Fishy, a nice little player off the backboard, looking for a center if possible. Smebs, with no boost, is able to jump in and contest. Doesn't win the 50, but once again, Max looks for a setup here. SPLC get the clear. And if you're GLC, now you're starting to feel the pressure. Minute 10. You want 1 goal back. You want to take it to overtime. Give yourself an opportunity to take the series. Or not take the series, but get a goal to take this round and hopefully be in the series. Smebs jumps in, unable to get the angle. I know the feeling. Max sees the goal, but Fishy closes the gap. Ming Hao redirects to Smebs. Smebs jumps over to the side. It's a good pass, but not the angle, not the outcome they were looking for. Now we have it back in the center. A lovely little chip overhead. Fishy will get bumped, but not before setting up a beautiful ball that has to be saved by Teriyaki. And SPLC once again. Max beats Smebs, but Fishy back for the recovery. Teriyaki sets a center. Max tries to get there. Ming Hao is the one that gets the save or the credit for it. A large chips now brings it down. It's trying to go for a pinch or a floor pinch, perhaps to send the ball shooting off uncharacteristically for a setup. A large chips goes for the shot, tries to get through, but it will drop down, and SPLC are able to take the series convincingly, making it a 3-0 all. And again, I really want to stress this from both the teams here. I mean, you're looking at what GLC can do, it was close, right? Like, SPLC definitely had the edge the whole way through, but GLC had those moments, especially there in Game 3, where they were looking like they were on point. They were able to hit something, they were able to do something about it, and that's exactly what I'm here for this competition, to see that come across from all of our teams, from everyone across the board there. So really exciting stuff there from everyone. The games have been fantastic today. So I will have a huge thank you, of course, to all the teams. But you know who else we need to thank? Of course, it's our sponsors. And AGON by AOC, the #1 monitor brand in the world. AGON by AOC provide the best-in-class monitor solutions for gaming and all other needs. Power your game with the latest HyperX gear at Officeworks. Push performance to the limit with the latest in gaming tech. From high-spec to precision gear, Officeworks has what you need. And of course, Indomie the Noodle partner, made with high-quality flour and selected ingredients and spices. A plate of Indomie mee goreng will certainly brighten up your day. Try any one of the flavors available today from your local grocer or at indomie.com.au. And with that, that's everything from today. It has been an absolute blast to bring these games to you. I can't wait to see you guys next week, where we do have some more Rocket League. A big thank you, of course, to the AEL. Check out their website for the latest events and activations. And also a big thank you to our admin team, everyone behind the scenes that makes this possible, because we will have more games coming your way, and we will be right back. Well, actually, I'll see you guys next week.